guests. Well, Meg is off getting some work done. She's going to come back a whole new person. And she's let the mice take over the house, and so we are representing. Lee's going to lead us in with the meditation.
All right, good morning, everybody. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. I'm going to ring the spell and let all the air out with a nice om.
Now, rise as you are able, and let's sing our song, Surely the Presence. Hold hands if you feel comfortable.
We feel that sweet, loving energy, affirming once again that because we are here, the presence of the Lord is in this place. We're so grateful for this day. We're grateful for this ministry. We're grateful for all of the hearts and minds that are coming together in all faith traditions all around the world to celebrate the one truth that God is and we are. Today we explore the notion of cultivating unlimited consciousness. In the Lenten season, we deeply understand and align with Christ consciousness, with the death of the ego, the resurrection of the Spirit, through me and as me in all that I do and say. Take that in just for a moment. Take that in for a moment, the Christ consciousness through me and as me in all that I do and say. And that's what we celebrate today. We celebrate the Christ consciousness rising above us, rising through us, and most importantly, the Christ consciousness rising as us. And with that, we say, thank you, God. Thank you for Christ consciousness. Thank you for truth principle. Thank you for unity on the river. And thank you, God, for this day. And so it is. Amen.
This thank you for this day. This wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. We say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are grateful, we are grateful, yes we are, yes we are. Thank you.
Now we'd like to call Lynette up to do some announcements and other sundry things.
Good morning, Unity on the River.
Good morning.
My name's Lynette Culverhouse, and I will be your facilitator for today. And thank you for that opening song. Oh my God, I was watching this guy here doing 4 different rhythms. One with each foot and one with each hand, and his head was going. We're so blessed to have these guys. Welcome to Unity on the River. We are an inclusive spiritual community where we honor all paths to God. We'd like to welcome anyone who's celebrating with us for the first time. So please raise your hands and keep them raised so that we can bring you a welcome packet. Please know that you are very welcome and that your presence here blesses and enriches us. Now let's wave hello to our online streamers. All of our past services can be viewed on our YouTube and Facebook channels, and you can find links to those on the website. Unity on the River is a center of celebration, transformation, inspiration, spirit-centeredness, oneness, and joy. Please hold these truths in your heart as we say our mission and vision together. So our mission: we are a vibrant spiritual community that celebrates the presence in all and awakens humanity to its divinity. And our vision: centered in love, we joyously co-create a world of oneness, peace, and harmony. And together, let's say our vision for a new spiritual leader. The spiritual leader of Unity on the River is a heart-centered, inspired teacher and mentor who lovingly embodies the highest and most joyful vision for Unity on the River and the world. We know that this vision is already established in divine mind. We pray that we as a congregation can embody the vision we have set forth. We must be the vision we want to see. And now I have the very great honor to welcome our beloved Jackie, who will deliver a message today titled Cultivating Unlimited Consciousness. If there's anyone in the world who I know can teach unlimited consciousness, it's this woman. And she embodies it in everything she says and does. And she has been my personal mentor for many years and has led me to greater heights of consciousness, and so honored to have you here. Jackie has been a member of Unity on the River for many years. As a multi-term board president, she oversaw the rapid growth of the congregation during the early 2000s. She's the founder of the Curriculum for Conscious Living and the Conscious Living Summit, a US Today and 4-time Amazon bestseller, a TEDx speaker, international trainer, and professional coach who trains coaches around the world to deliver this life-changing methodology. It's a great honor to have you with us today, always. Next week, our speaker will be Leslie Smith, and a few announcements. Starting on April 18th, Amy Joslin is offering the Unity course on prosperity based on the teachings of Charles Fillmore and Eric Butterworth. It will run for 7 weeks, ending May 30th, and it will be via Zoom online. And you can get more details on the website and register on the website, and it's offered on a love offering. On March 24th, ministerial candidate Sharon Renee will be here to lead our service and provide a 2-hour workshop that afternoon. This is a time when all of you will be able to experience her spiritual leadership. And it's the board who makes the decision, but the board will be seeking our input. So it's important for people to experience her, meet her, get to know a little about her, and then give the board members your input. I would like to just mention that we have prayer chaplains today. Michelle, anyone else prayer chaplaining today? Michelle will be, if people have a prayer request, Michelle will be at the back of the church after service. And if we have board members here today, would they rise so that we can acknowledge them for their service? And I'd like to call Phyllis Craig to the podium for an update on the connection team.
Namaste, beautiful Unity souls. It really is so nice to look at everyone's faces. There's so much love in here. Takes your speech phobia away. It helps anyway. I just wanted to say thank you to all of you who responded to last week's message about some people that could use a contact. And I know it meant a lot. I know that Sarah Rowland was called by 4 people. She had pneumonia and she was at home alone. And Andrea called her, Tess called her, Holly, June, and that meant a lot to her. And Andrea told me that she also had the inspiration to call Tom Paolini, who lost his daughter, and I haven't seen him for a long time. And she said he was so grateful. So people really do appreciate it, and I know there have been others. If anybody wants the number of Martina and doesn't have it and wants to still call her or anyone else that we mentioned, let me know. I'll be in hospitality. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Phyllis. And just want to remind people to forward the newsletter to friends, to post on Facebook, where we have a great thing going here and we'd like to spread the word and invite more people. So just be aware of that, bringing more people in on board. And thank you. Namaste. Introduce namaste. Oh yeah, let's do the namaste.
Well, if there's one song I wish I'd written, it's this one. Over the years, and people always ask if I'll do it again. And thank you. But it's one that I resonate with. I grew up Catholic, and these lyrics are really all about it. But I have the whole reason I'm talking before I sing is I just had this moment of, I've sung this song for 20 years now, and I had this moment of, I don't have the lyrics in front of me. Like, I know it. If I'm sitting around my house, I play it. I don't look at the words, but so I'm letting go of the crutch of looking down.
We'll fill it in for you.
All right.
Look at
Yeah.
us, Brett. Look at us.
You guys know how it goes?
Yeah. And we have the words. We have the words.
I'll sing it like this. When I was born in the streets. All right. When I was a boy each week, Sundays we would go to church, pay attention to the priest, and he would read the holy word and consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two. Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad that miracles don't happen still. Now I can't go back, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything is a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick. Anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, finding where there isn't one. Holy water was rare at best, barely with my fingertips. Now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. Used to be a world half there, heaven second grade hand me down, and now I walk with the reverend there. 'Cause everything is holy now. Take it down. Questioning child's faith, say it's not a testament. That'd be very hard to say. And see another newborn and come. Say it's not a sacrament. I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, saw a little red-winged bird, shining like a burning book, singing like a scripture verse. Made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let off, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. Used to be a world half there, had the second grade hand me down, and now I walk with a reverent air. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now.
Love that.
And Brian, thank you for singing here at Unity on the River for 20 years. Thank you. And to the band, you guys are into the band. If you guys just want to like move into my living room and do that in the background, that would be okay with me. Hi, everybody. Everything is holy now. Isn't that a beautiful thought? Everything is holy now. Like, just look around. The lights, the chandeliers, these very old pews in this very old synagogue. Was driving down High Street, and I was coming in from 495 today and looking at these beautiful old mansions and estates with a widow's watch up on top. And I was just thinking about the history and the depth of life here in New England. It's awesome, isn't it? I love living here, and I love this notion that everything is holy now. Am I too loud? I'm not too loud. I feel too loud. I haven't even gotten warmed up yet. I'm about to be too loud. Yeah. So thank you so much for being here. Church is so much more fun when we're in it together. And thank you for those of you who are new with us today. A gal over here and a gal over... it's so awesome to see some... Yeah, you guys back there, beautiful. It's so awesome to see some new faces. Thanks for being with us, and come back, It's really lovely. It really is being in community that elevates us. So today we're in the Lenten season. Lent feels awfully early this year. Easter feels early, but we are in the Lenten season, and during Lent in Unity, we call Jesus the way shower, the one who shows us the way of in fact, how to live in unlimited consciousness. And so as we explore this time of Lent, I think a lot about what this means, the crucifixion, the death, the resurrection that Jesus endured, so that we too can know that we are unlimited. That we are unlimited. Now, does that mean that you're going to die and your body's going to walk around 3 days later? No, I don't think so. That's not exactly the message. But what it does mean is that you have the opportunity at every moment to die to your human egoic rantings and ravings and messiness and craziness, to die to that with the choice to live in your unlimited resurrection of your Christ nature. Isn't that a beautiful thought? That's what we have the opportunity to do every day. That's what cultivating unlimited consciousness is all about. It really means mastering the human experience, mastering this, living on this plane, mastering the small s self so that your Christ essence is what lives you. Isn't that a cool thought? I'm going to be lived by my Christ essence. So that's what we're going to talk about today, but in order to understand how to cultivate unlimited consciousness, you have to begin, or we have to begin, by understanding and bringing awareness to the consciousness that you are living in. I'm just going to assume that if I were to take a poll right now, nobody's going to be like, I am living in unlimited consciousness every moment of every day, thank you very much. I know I can't say that. I have moments of it. I have moments of really recognizing the vast, unlimited nature of the human experience. But let's just say, for the most part, I have some self-limiting definitions that I impose upon myself. Anyone else? All right, great. Let's take a little poll. So what are some of the self-limiting definitions that you put on yourself? Yep. I don't have enough money. How many of you? Yeah, relate to that? What do you got? What are your, this is where you talk back to me? Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm disabled. Damn, I'm disabled. Therefore, I fill in the blank, right? What else? I can't do it. I can't do it. I got to put on my British accent. I can't do it. I'm too old. Yeah, Michelle? I'm not smart enough. I'm not enough. How many of you have multiple variations of that? I'm not enough. Yeah, right? Young enough, old enough, sexy enough, smart enough, rich enough, abled enough, enough, right? I'm not enough. Yeah, you guys get it. Say again. I don't have enough. Yeah. It's just, that's just kind of, that's, unfortunately, that's the human condition. You have to just understand that's just, oh, there it is, human moment. Oh, there it is, there's my human condition. I'm too stressed, I'm a procrastinator, I'm no good with technology. Right? We have all of these ways that we limit ourselves instead of embracing the truth of who we are. And that's your human nature. It's not like you're a bad person. That is the human condition. But I want to bring attention to some other limiting definitions that are limiting that you don't even recognize that you're walking around in as a limiting definition, like female, male, married, single, divorced, mother, father, sibling, aunt, author, doctor, nurse, baker, contractor, tech geek. That's a really limiting Republican, conservative, Democrat, liberal. These are all limiting definitions that you put on yourself. In fact, anything that you say or think about yourself that is not, I am one with God. I am my God self on earth. I am the light of God expressing. Anything other than that is a limiting definition. It is by definition limiting. Yes, I understand we have social norms. Like I can see myself at a cocktail party, right? Like, I'm milling about and somebody comes up and says, oh, hi, I'm so-and-so. And I'd be like, hi, I'm the light of God expressing. Like you just don't, that's just weird, right? You just don't do that. It would be great though. Yeah, let's try it. Let's just try it. Go get coffee, like stopping in over on High Street, there's that cute little coffee shop. Let's 10 of us go in there and be like, oh, how are you today? I'm great, I'm the light of God expressing. Right? So we all have the opportunity to play with this. But too often we define ourselves by our body, our limitations, my profession, my family, my social class. So the question that's facing us today is, how do I identify fully, moment to moment, as the unlimited Christ consciousness that I am? That's that's the question of our lives. How do I identify moment to moment with the unlimited nature of the Christ consciousness, with unlimited consciousness? Does that question excite any of you? Because it sure gets me up in the morning. It is pretty much what I have devoted my life to, asking and answering that question over and over and over again. And I still don't know, but I had to give a talk, so I made up a few things. Okay? So I'm going to give you some ideas. Let's play together with some ideas about how do you develop unlimited consciousness beyond the confines of our ego and our society and our culture. Well, all change, of course, begins with awareness. So that's why I asked you, what are the limitations that you put on yourself? So we've got the awareness now, oh, okay, I can really see, I'm doing this all the time. I'm putting the limitations on myself all the time. After you have that awareness, the next thing that's required is a decision. It's a decision to commit your life to the cultivation of your Christ nature, of your Christ consciousness. A decision that stems from a desire that you feel to grow. And I know you have that desire. How do I know? Because you're here. You're here in this Unity Church on a Sunday morning when you could be doing 1,000 other things. You're here online watching this service when you could be doing 1,000 other things. Your choices of what to do are unlimited, and you're here. So the first thing that you need to do is really get in touch with that desire. You're not coming for the coffee cake after service. You're coming because there is part of your spirit that wants to rise, that wants to be more. I want to know myself as God more fully. You have that desire. So inside of that desire, what there is for you to do is simply and profoundly make a decision. Because not only is it clear that you have that desire because you're here in this church, in this temple, in the synagogue, wherever we are. We're here together, but also you're here. You incarnated at this particular point in time. And I firmly believe that it is our human purpose to grow in consciousness back to the divinity from which you came. Heard that before a few times? It's one of the central tenets to my teaching. All of my students in here are like, okay, Jackie, we've heard that before. Right, Brad, you with me? My belief, and what I teach in all of my programs, we are here to grow in consciousness back to the divine nature from which we came. What does that mean? Well, we came into the human experience, and we forgot that we were one with divinity. So before we took body and form, we were one with the etheric nature of God and divinity. We didn't have a body, and then whoosh, here we are. We got born. And we take on the human experience. And what that means when you take on the human experience is that there's a lot of humanity in it, which means kind of untrained, unconditioned consciousness is fear and uncertainty and confusion and struggle and strife and resignation and it's too much, I can't. That's kind of the basic human condition. Your purpose to be here, to grow in consciousness, is to elevate into walking around knowing that you are one with God. Facing a problem or a limitation and knowing this is just my current circumstance. I'm one with God. I can't wait to see how this is going to play out. You know, the person that's rude to you in the store, sending them love. The spouse that's pissing you off on a regular basis, showing patience and kindness and love. The teenager, oh God. Anybody else parents of teens right now or have been a parent of a teenager? Yeah, we'll just talk after church. Yeah, just talk after church, right? Bringing that love. I texted that to my son this week. Nathan, you are the light of God expressing. God is living through you. Yeah, no, actually he said, thank you, Mom. That made me cry. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, no, I didn't get an eye roll. I mean, it was on text, but he'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But he's like, thank you, Mom, that made me cry. I love you. Right? So bringing forth that truth everywhere you go. So not living in fear and anxiety and overwhelm and stress and resignation, but living in the consciousness of love and peace and equanimity and joy. Faith. Expressing these 12 powers in all that we say and do. God, I'm going to be here all day if I don't get moving. Where am I? Oh, God. So, right. So you have to make the decision to have your life be about this, right? So we all make decisions all the time. I want to tell you a story of a woman I need to have on my podcast. I'm really impressed with this woman. Her name is Lizzie Velasquez. And she asked this important question on her TED Talk. She asked the question, what is it that defines you? You know, so I'm talking about making a decision, and you decide what your life is about based on what defines you. So Lizzie is a TED speaker, 34-year-old motivational speaker, author, documentarian, created a film about herself. She was born with a rare congenital defect that, get this, created her to never have the ability to gain weight or develop body fat. How many of you are like, sign me up, baby? Right? So, I mean, is the image up there? Can you, who's on PowerPoint? Can you put that image up? Great. So, I mean, you can, right, so all of us, especially us women, are like, oh my gosh, sign me up for that. But in fact, if you never have the ability to gain weight or put on body fat, she has quite an unusual experience. So in her TED Talk, oh, I'm sorry, let me back up. When she was 17 years old, she saw an online post that dubbed her as the ugliest human alive and received over 1 million views and thousands of comments, one of them saying, do humanity a favor, put a gun to your head and end it all. So this is what she was subjected to, the bullying all through school, middle school, high school. And after this incident of being the ugliest human alive when she was 17 years old, she took on that. She made a decision right? So she'd spent her whole life, kind of dealing with this, unusual condition, extremely rare, being bullied, and at 17 being dubbed the ugliest human alive with this meme that got made. And she made a decision to take on online cyberbullying. And she dedicated her life to that, created an anti-bullying movement that inspired millions of people. I want to quote from her TED Talk. She said, "For so long, I thought what defined me was my outer experience. I thought that my little tiny legs and my little arms and my little face were ugly. I thought I was disgusting. I hated it when I'd wake up in the morning when I was going to middle school and I would be looking in the mirror and getting ready and thinking, can I just scrub off this syndrome? It would make my life so much easier if I could just scrub it off. I could look like other kids. I would wish and pray and hope and do whatever I could so I'd wake up in the morning and be different and I wouldn't have to deal with these struggles. It's what I'd wanted every single day, and every single day I was disappointed. But I have an amazing support system around me. People who never pity me, who are there for me, they pick me up if I'm sad, and who are there to laugh with me during good times. And they taught me that even though I have this syndrome, and even though things are hard, I can't let that define me. My life was put into my hands, just like your life was put into yours. You are the one who decides what defines you. Powerful, isn't it? So she said in her TED Talk that her life goals were to have a good career, check, write a book, become an author, she's published 3, get married, she married her longtime sweetheart last year in 2023, and to have children, check back on that one. So Lizzie wasn't defined by her circumstances or by her appearance. She wasn't defined by the bullying or by her struggles. She decided, right? Principle number 1, make a decision. She decided that what was going to define her life was that she was going to shower the world with kindness and spread a message of hope and self-determination. That's what cultivating unlimited consciousness is all about. So let me go back to that important question. What is it that defines you? You don't have to answer. You can mull on that. So what happens when you make a decision for something radical? Like I'm suggesting today that you make a decision to have your life be about cultivating unlimited Christ consciousness in all you do and say. I'm making that plea to you. I'm making that ask. So what happens when you do that? Immediately what springs forth is that you have to assume responsibility for that decision. I hate that part. I hate that part. That's when the rubber really meets the road. Because what happens is that life will give you all manner of circumstances to have you revert back to your egoic ways. So to cultivate unlimited consciousness, you have to assume complete responsibility for a few things. The way your life is, the way your life isn't, the way you are not. You have to be responsible for what you do and for what you say, but let's go a little deeper than that. You also have to be responsible for what you feel and what you think. One of my pet peeves is people who say, well, I can't help it, it's just the way I think. I can't help it, that's just the way I feel. You can help it. In fact, it is your spiritual obligation to help it. Lizzie has lots of reason to walk around with self-pity and depressed feelings, and yet she made a decision to commit her life to spreading kindness and self-determination. We all have that opportunity, but we have to be responsible for how we think, how we feel, what we do, what we say, and we were getting along pretty well until now, weren't we? Yeah. And you have to be responsible for what you believe and how you perceive. See, if you're not having a good time with something, like right now, you'd be like, that Jackie, why is she always giving messages like this? I don't like this message today. right? Whatever experience you're having of my message is your experience. So if you're having that experience of like, I don't like what she's saying, change your mind. Get curious. What would have her say that? Where does that thought come from? Get creative. She's so wrong. Let me think of 1,000 ways that she's wrong. Right? Like, get creative. Your experience is your experience. When I was in college, the only course I ever failed was Western civilization with this tiny little professor who had this tiny little mustache and whose voice never changed, and it was a little bit annoying because it scratched, and it was a little high-pitched, and he never smiled, and the only time he moved his hands would be to flip his notes. And I failed Western Civ. I was so embarrassed, but I couldn't stand the guy, right? It was like, I was generating that experience. He was just doing him. So I had to take it again, because it was one of the requirements. Guess what professor I got? God's cosmic humor. I passed that bad boy the second time around. So you have to be responsible for yourself. The last thing that so you clear on what you have to be responsible for? Tell me back. What do you have to be responsible for? Everything, right? That was easier. I could have just said that, right? Yeah, thanks, David. That was the bullet point version. You just have to be responsible for everything. Thoughts, feelings, beliefs, the way you perceive your attitude. Fundamentally, you have to be responsible for your own consciousness. But I'm going to go still one step further. You also have to be responsible for how you use your time on earth. To be responsible for how you use your time. You can use your time to piss and moan that life is not, treating you well, or you can use your time to be loving and excited and enthusiastic about whatever is facing you. You can use your time to judge others or to be open-hearted. You can use your time to nurture your body with wholesome foods or to feed it with toxins and all kinds of nasty stuff that they call food these days. You can use your time to serve others, to grow in consciousness, or to placate the egoic needs of your human nature. And the truth is, you're always doing one or the other. Like, you're always either placating the egoic needs of your human nature or making the conscious choice to be responsible for who you're being, to be responsible for your consciousness. And here is the key point. The power of freedom of choice, your power to freely choose. You get to choose every moment how your life is unfolding. That power is the essence of Christ consciousness. In the Bible, they call it free will. You have the right and the ability to choose. Your power to choose is unlimited. That is the unlimited nature of Christ consciousness. But how are you going to choose to be? It really is, what I teach is super simple. These concepts are simpler than you think, but it requires a willingness and an ability to commit to living an awakened life. Fundamentally, that's what we're talking about. Thich Nhat Hanh, the Buddhist monk, once wrote, "When we understand that our life is our own creation, we can choose to respond with wisdom and compassion to whatever comes our way." Let me say that again. When we understand that our life is our own creation, you're the one creating your life, then we can choose to respond with wisdom and compassion to whatever comes our way. There's a lot coming our way these days. Have you noticed? Even on, kind of on the global sense. But we can choose to respond with wisdom and compassion. That doesn't mean that you condone or, get on board with immoral or unethical behavior. It doesn't mean that. But you see it for what it is. You see it as a person who's expressing an unconditioned consciousness. They're doing the best they can according to their current and evolving level of consciousness. It doesn't mean you get on board with it, but you also don't need to judge it. So you've got to be responsible for your moment-to-moment experience of life, right? And I want you to just imagine what that's like, that you can determine whether you are enjoying or not enjoying it, and you can shift your perception so that your life is always kind of elevating in energy. Charles Fillmore wrote that we are not at the mercy of any external power, including heredity and environment. That blew me away. I want to believe, I'm 60, so I'm gaining a little weight. It's not my fault. I'm just 60. Now I'm like, shit. We are not at the mercy of any external power, including heredity and environment. We are created in the image and likeness of God, and we have the power to choose our own thoughts and create our own identity. Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of the Unity Church, we have the power to choose. Choose wisely. And again, my invitation for you today is that you choose, I am one with God. I call it my God self. Am I being my God self today? I want to be my God self on earth. So the last thing, so you've made the decision, you've taken responsibility for that decision and all that you think and all that you do and how you spend your time, how you're using your life. You're cultivating psychological sophistication. You're healing. You're no longer blaming the past on anything. We live in such a psychologized culture. People think I am the way I am because of my past, and today we know through neuroscience that is not true. You are the way you are because you repeat mental patterns in your thinking that create pathways in your consciousness. You have the power to create something differently. So the third thing then is to no longer identify with the limited self, but identify with Christ consciousness, my identity. Jesus said, I am that I am. Tell us who you are. He didn't say, oh, I'm Jesus from Nazareth, and I was born from Mary and Joseph. And you know, they didn't do a very good job raising me. In fact, I was born in a barn. So you could see that I've had a difficult life. Right? It's not what he did. He said, I am that I am. So what he was saying is, I am going to identify with my nature of being. I am that I am. I identify with my being nature. How are you being in relation to your life, in relation to your circumstances, in relation to your upsets? How are you being about that? I am that I am. You've probably heard the analogy. Have you heard the analogy before that that God is the ocean and we are the wave, that we are one with God? Have you heard that? If you haven't, pretend that you've heard it before. Okay. So you can get it, right? That consciousness, universal Christ, God consciousness, God, is the fullness of the ocean, vast. You can't see the limits, unlimited. Can't see the next shore. It is vast and unlimited. And we, as our little God selves, are the wave. And I've been working with that notion lately. It used to comfort me. And just this past week, I was like, that's wrong. That's wrong. I'm not the wave. I'm the ocean. You are the ocean. We're the ocean. We are the ocean of God consciousness. Because there is no separation between God consciousness, the creative element. I am the created and the creator. I was created by God and I create with God. It's this constant interplay of energy and action and relationship. It's this constant interplay in life. So I'm not the wave. How lame is that? When I'm a little bit of flotsam, a little bit of flotsam on top of the wave. I'm not the wave. What the waves are our experiences in life. Our waves sometimes are nice and gentle, rolling along, and we feel that. And sometimes they come crashing in on us. Are they doing the images up there? Oh, bummer. There we go. There's the ocean. Let me see the next one. There's the little beautiful wave. See, I'm not that little flotsam on top. And then the next. Yeah. And then sometimes the waves come crashing in, right? Sometimes the waves come crashing in. But what I want you to know today is that you are the source of creation. Was something I said? I hope it wasn't. I hope not. Anyway, have a good afternoon. That's my ADD kicking in. I am your special needs teacher. See, I just did it. That was a limiting definition. I defined myself through that. Yeah, no, love you. Sending him love. All right, good. So if we believe that God and I are one, we don't want to identify with anything that's smaller than the wholeness. So our work Whether we're swimming along in life, enjoying just the little rolling waves, or whether we're in the face of those ones that crash us down, our work is to know that we are always, the truth of our nature is that we are one with God. And as you identify with that, so I really want you to walk around today, like set an alarm on your phone or something, like every hour, I'm one with God. I'm the ocean, not the wave. Like as you walk around seeing that everything is holy now, including me, by the way. How many of you sang that song with like everything is holy now, but somehow you got left out of that? Include yourself in that circle of holiness. And as you do that, life changes. Life itself changes. You don't see things the same way. You're not at that level of vibration where you have all of these upsets and troubles and difficulties. You become a no-drama zone. You become a no-drama zone. There's no energy of drama in your space. Paul wrote in Ephesians 4:22 through 24, you were taught to put off the old self. That's what I'm talking about. Today, make a decision and then be responsible and then identify with not the old self. You were taught to put off the old self and to be made new in the attitude of your minds. To put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness. That is how you were created. To be holy in what you do, in what you think, in what you say. Identifying with your unlimited Christ consciousness, not with your egoic mind, not with your personality, not with ADD or any other diagnosis that you have. Know that your true power is putting off your old self and allowing yourself to be made new. So we've committed this year, our theme for the year is Come Grow With Us. And in order for us to embody that theme at Unity on the River, Come Grow With Us, you have to commit to your own spiritual growth. So I'm asking us as a community to commit to making a decision to be living, to be transformed by the power of the Christ consciousness. And then assuming responsibility for how you live. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to decide this is what my life is about? Number one, are you willing to do that? This is what my life is about. I am about growing in consciousness. And then, so where rubber meets the road, are you willing to be responsible for that? And hold each other accountable for that. So when you hear a neighbor, a friend, a congregant speaking limitation with love, you say, that's not the truth of who you are. That's not the truth of who you are. And then lastly, I ask you, will you identify with being the ocean and not the wave? You are the created and the creator, one with God in unlimited consciousness. And inside of that, not only can you do anything, you can make whatever difference in this world that is put on your heart. That's what you're here to do. To love, to speak, to express what it is that's in you. This is my thing. I teach, I speak, I write. This is what I do, all about elevation of consciousness. I need you to do yours. The save the whales and the take care of the environment and being out at the political rallies and speaking up for truth and justice. And dear God, somebody please take care of managing AI before it takes over our world, right? We want people who are speaking this message in every area of life. That is how God expresses in this world. And that's what we're called to do. Let's take these thoughts into a few moments of meditation, shall we?
So I must be loving. I let the love of God flow through me. And I am healed. God and I are one. God and I are one. God is peace, so I must be peaceful. I let the peace of God flow through me now, and I am healed.
Just take a moment now and begin this meditation by taking a deep cleansing breath. Feel your etheric field around you. Feel your body sinking into this now moment, coming to stillness, affirming silently to yourself now, God and I are one. God is life. God is love. So I must be loving. I invite you in this now moment to just call to mind any area of your life that perhaps you've felt some separation from the truth of your divine nature and your Christ consciousness. Perhaps you're having a challenge at work or relationship issue, maybe it's your finances. And I invite you now to just go to that area and feel the energy that you've been feeling about it, the constriction, the fear, the worry, the frustration, and just decide in this now moment to let that go, to allow that energy to be taken up into the sea of nothingness and to dissolve into the truth of your higher Christ nature. And what immediately is present is the truth that you are the created and the creator in this magical, mystical dance. So affirm in that area right now, God and I are one. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I live by faith, not by fear. So I invite you now in the silence to just call to mind these areas of your life that perhaps you haven't been experiencing that oneness, that peace, that bliss. And in each of those areas, feel the energy that you've been feeling. Make the decision to let that energy go. Be responsible for the next thought and emotion, and then identify with the truth of who you really are. Take these thoughts now for a few moments into the silence. We turn these areas over to God, knowing that the universe is always conspiring for our good. And we say, thank you, God, for this truth and this knowing, for deepening our identity into the truth that God and I are one. And so it is.
So I must be loving. I let the love of God flow through me now, and I am He. God and I are one. It's a good space. I like that. Well, let's take that elevated space and think about how we can give back to our community as we do our prosperity. Would you like that? You're very good at this. So, as with anything in Unity, give what you can to help support our community. We just had a big community meeting last week that just spoke a little bit to, we're in a little bit of a financial need area, and any and all is always welcome. We are a prosperous church, and we know that we will be going forward as well. So let's do our prosperity prayer.
Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I got everything that I need to be happy, I got friends, I got my community, I got the birds in the morning in the rainbow sky, I'm singing songs, I've got everything that I need to be happy, if I don't have myself, if I'm not grateful, oh God, what good is money? What good is wealth? I got everything that I need to be happy.
We are so blessed by this ministry, by the people that serve, by the hearts and hands that give. Just want to invite any of you that want to bring anyone into this space right now, this space of peace and love and oneness and prosperity, to call to mind those that you'd like us to pray for and just quietly say their names together out loud. We hear all of these prayers, and we're grateful for these gifts. We say thank you, God, for the gifts of prayer, for the gifts of prosperity, and for the gift of life itself. We affirm that these gifts go on to do the work of this ministry and to do the work of raising Christ consciousness everywhere in this world. And so it is. Amen.
And for our children, we see them lit up. Their hearts are so full, and they're so full of joy. And they see the truth of who they are. Actually, sometimes they have better glimpses than we have. So we're going to see them to continue to see the light that they are as they move through this world in any predicament, any circumstance. They will just rise to the occasion and remember, God and I are one.
And don't forget, if they're a teenager, they will scowl at you through the whole time.
That's right. Right.
The father of 2 out of teenagedom and 2 in teenagedom. Well, this is another great song that Jim Goldstein came from Virginia to play this for us. And he was a friend of Ogun's from way back. And anyways, it's another one of those songs where I heard it once and I said, I have to come up with a way to play this on guitar because he'd written it on piano. I'm going to tune up here. There we go. I went home and I worked out an arrangement and love this song. It's called Raise Your Voice. So you know the part when it comes up.
All Let us go forward from this day knowing that we lift our head up, we lift our heart up, and that we are here, alive, aligned, awakened, praising God. And so it is. Place?
It's all right. Don't forget, so I'll get together for coffee downstairs.